Pop died of a heart attack on the 18th of November, the year I turned 23. Long ago now. The last 2 years he was alive, we lived 3 miles apart and never spoke a word to each other. Shit, who could remember what the final argument was about? Money, probably, or drugs. But I was sure someday we would sit together again over a drink. 2 pints of Guinness, Pop's favorite. I would say, sorry for everything. And he would say, me too, kid. And that would be that. But then my phone rang on the 18th of November. Pop's downstairs neighbor, saying he woke up to a bang on his ceiling. He figured Pop knocked over his fridge or something, it was so loud. When he climbed the stairs to tell him to keep it down, the door was unlocked and Pop lay on his carpet, eyes open and hand on his chest. Must have been quick, the neighbor said to me over the phone. Geez, I'm sorry. That was 11 November 18th ago, and every November 18th since then I headed out to Walnut Grove Cemetery, Queens, in the nicest clothes I owned. The only day out of the year I wore a tie. Hey, Pop. I nodded to his gravestone and slid my hand into my coat pocket, which held a bottle of Guinness. Like I said, Pop's favorite. The weight of the beer felt good in my hand. These visits to my father's grave were the only times in years I'd touched a bottle of anything. 7 years, to be exact, so says my chip. 9 years without coke or heroin or even weed. You'd think they would be harder to kick, but no. It was always the fucking drink. So once a year I buy a single bottle. Occasionally I can't find a store that sells them loose, which means I'm picking up a 6-pack of Guinness and chucking 5 in the bin behind the store. Call it a waste of money, waste of beer, I don't care. Keeping any booze with me for longer than the few minutes it takes to walk into Walnut Grove and lay that bottle on his grave is more temptation than I want to endure. Happy Thanksgiving, I said. Almost. And before you ask, no, I ain't got nobody to spend it with yet. I knelt and brushed away wet leaves obscuring his name on the tombstone, tossed aside the few small branches that had fallen onto his grave. The night before, a nasty storm had knocked out power in the neighborhood, including my own apartment 3 blocks away. High winds blew branches right off the trees, smashing windshields and setting off car alarms that kept me up the whole goddamn night. Power was still out in the morning, and I was dead tired. And worst of all, I couldn't even brew myself a cup of coffee. Honestly, right now I ain't got time to think about dating anyway. Well, shit. I lost my job, Pop. Not sure what to do. Rent is due in a week and I'm 1,000 short.